Iran sends a stark and calculated warning to its adversaries, and the message is unmistakable. Tehran says its missile power is no longer what the world saw just months ago, and it is now stronger, faster, and more lethal than before. Iran's defense ministry has confirmed a major expansion of its missile arsenal following last year's brief but intense confrontation with Israel. Officials say both the quality and the sheer number of Iranian missiles have increased significantly since the war ended in late June. Speaking on Saturday, Defense Ministry spokesman Brigadier General Reza Talaei-Nik declared that Iran's missile strength has advanced beyond what was deployed during the conflict. He said the experience of the 12-day war reshaped Iran's battlefield strategy and transformed its missile defense capabilities. According to Talaei-Nik, Iran has not only upgraded its offensive missile power, but has also made its air and missile defense systems far more effective. He claimed these improvements were directly driven by real combat experience, gained under direct Israeli and regional pressure. But Tehran is also choosing secrecy as a weapon. The general confirmed Iran has developed sophisticated new missile capabilities, but will keep critical details classified to surprise its enemies at the right moment. This deliberate silence, Iranian officials say, is part of a broader strategy of deterrence through uncertainty. By refusing to reveal its full capabilities, Tehran aims to keep adversaries guessing about the scale and precision of any future retaliation. Talaei-Nik also dismissed recent military threats against Iran, calling them hesitant and hollow. He said such rhetoric only proves that Iran's enemies fear its growing missile power and defense capacity. During last year's conflict, Iranian missiles struck a wide range of military and economic targets across Israeli-controlled territories. Iranian officials claimed those strikes caused significant damage and demonstrated a high level of precision and coordination. Military analysts believe the effectiveness of those missile attacks altered the strategic balance of the conflict. Some experts say the growing impact of Iranian strikes played a key role in Washington pushing Israel toward a ceasefire on June 24. That ceasefire may have ended the fighting, but Iranian commanders insist the confrontation is far from over. Officials have repeatedly warned that any future attack on Iran will trigger strikes on US-linked targets across the region.
The Middle East is holding its breath. As a US aircraft carrier strike group steams toward the region, Iran is sending an unmistakable warning to Washington. Any attack will be treated as all-out war. A senior Iranian official, speaking on condition of anonymity with Reuters, says Tehran is watching closely as American military assets move into position. The message is stark. There will be no room for interpretation this time. No shades of gray, no limits. According to the official, Iran hopes the growing US military presence is not meant for confrontation. But hope, he says, does not equal trust. Iran's armed forces are now on high alert, preparing for what he calls the worst-case scenario. And the red line is clear. This time, the official says, any attack, limited, unlimited, surgical, kinetic, whatever they call it, will be treated as an all-out war against us. The response, he warns, would be severe, decisive, and meant to settle the conflict once and for all. The warning comes as US President Donald Trump confirms that an American armada is heading toward Iran. While Trump says he hopes force will not be necessary, he renews sharp warnings to Tehran against killing protesters and against restarting its nuclear program. Iran, for its part, rejects intimidation. If American forces violate Iran's sovereignty or territorial integrity, the response will be immediate, the official says, though he stops short of revealing exactly how Tehran would retaliate. What he does make clear is Iran's mindset. A nation under constant military threat, he argues, has no choice but to ensure that every capability at its disposal can be used to push back and to restore balance against anyone who dares to strike. This is not the first time US forces have surged into the Middle East during heightened tensions. Historically, Washington has described many of these deployments as defensive, but memories are fresh. Just last year, a similar buildup preceded US strikes on Iran's nuclear program, a moment that pushed the region to the edge. Now, with warships approaching and rhetoric hardening, the stakes are higher than ever, because if the next move is misread, it may not be a warning shot. It may be war.
The skies over the Middle East fell suddenly silent. Late on Friday, major international airlines made an extraordinary decision, canceling dozens of flights to Israel and key Gulf destinations in a coordinated wave of suspensions. Routes to Tel Aviv vanished from departure boards. Flights to Saudi Arabia and the United Arab Emirates were grounded. For travelers across Europe and North America, plans collapsed overnight. KLM, Air France, British Airways, Lufthansa, Swiss International Airlines, names synonymous with global travel, all pulled back at once. Air Canada canceled 4 flights into Israel. United Airlines followed suit. Airlines rarely make such moves lightly. The financial cost is immense, the disruption enormous. Yet the decisions appeared synchronized, suggesting access to shared intelligence pointing to escalating danger. As planes stayed on the ground, a warning echoed from Ankara. Turkey's foreign minister cautioned that Israel is seeking an opportunity to strike Iran. His words landed as tensions between Israel and Iran intensified, not only through proxy conflicts, but through direct military confrontations that have pushed the region closer to the brink. At Ben Gurion Airport, the impact was immediate. All international operations were grounded until at least Friday morning, as per reports. Israel's flag carrier, El Al, suspended flights indefinitely. Even domestic air travel was halted. Israeli airspace, usually crowded and constant, appeared eerily empty. Passengers were left scrambling. One traveler flying from Amsterdam to Tel Aviv watched their KLM flight canceled, then rushed to book with El Al, only to see that option disappear as well. Across Europe, airlines extended suspensions through the weekend, cutting overnight routes and daytime services alike. Behind the scenes, the stakes are rising fast. The Israel-Iran rivalry has long played out in the shadows. Hamas in Gaza, Hezbollah in Lebanon, Israeli strikes on Iranian-linked targets across the region, but now the conflict feels dangerously close to open escalation. This comes as in Washington, the rhetoric sharpened. U.S. President Donald Trump spoke of a massive fleet moving toward Iran, saying he hoped he would not need to use it.
We're watching Iran. We're watching Iran. You know, we have a lot of ships going that direction, just in case. We have a big flotilla going in that direction, and we'll see what happens. It's a big force. We have a big force going toward Iran. I'd rather not see anything happen, but we're watching them very closely. I stopped 837 hangings on Thursday. They would have been dead. Every one of them would have been hung. This is like from 1,000 years ago. This is an ancient culture. Very smart people, by the way, but it's an ancient culture. 837, mostly young men, were going to be hung on Thursday. And I said, if you hang those people, you're going to be hit harder than you've ever been hit. It'll make what we did to your Iran nuclear look like peanuts. And an hour before this horrible thing was going to take place, they canceled it. And they actually said they canceled it. They didn't postpone it. They canceled it. So that was a good sign. But we have an armada. We have a massive fleet heading in that direction. And maybe we won't have to use it. We'll see.
U.S. officials confirmed the USS Abraham Lincoln and guided missile destroyers were heading to the Middle East alongside potential new air defense systems to protect American bases. The situation remains fluid. Airlines say they are reassessing conditions hour by hour, but one thing is clear. When the world's biggest carriers ground their fleets at the same time, it is no longer business as usual. It is a warning.